So I did a video a couple of days ago and I talked about um, the pros of entrepreneurship. And, I was talking about how good entrepreneurship is. And some pro employment subscribers of mine are not so impressed about the fact that I'm always praising entrepreneurship and I'm making it seem like it is very easy, like knife through butter. Now they've asked me to do a video talking about the cons, the disadvantages of entrepreneurship. Now, before I start, I want to place a disclaimer. The disadvantages of entrepreneurship are so insignificant compared to the long-term benefits and advantages of entrepreneurship. So, guys, this video is not meant to discourage entrepreneurship. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it because I was asked to do it. I don't see the disadvantages of entrepreneurship as any reason not to consider it because the benefits far outweighs the disadvantages. So today I'll be going into seven disadvantages of entrepreneurship, and we're starting right now. Con number one of entrepreneurship is this. As an entrepreneur, you're always working. Now, the employee can go on a time off, or the employee can, close from work. They have a particular time when they close from work. And after close of work, they can just go home and shut down. They don't need to switch on the computer. They don't need to think and brainstorm about things that happened at the office. They are done. Now, uh, an entrepreneur, you're always looking for a way to grow your brand. You work 24 hours. Even when you're on vacation with your family, you go with your laptop, you're thinking about your next business move, because I tell you the truth, it's a competitive world out there. It's a competitive business world out there, and you need to keep upscaling, you need to keep upgrading your business, you need to keep brainstorming about the next move for your business. Now, let me tell you something. Most of the disadvantages of entrepreneurship, it could also be a disadvantage for employment, because the entrepreneur is the boss. So if he's doing brainstorming about business, if he's doing brainstorming about the next move, he can actually ask his employees to do those things, and he's going to pay them for it. You can have a team that brainstorms and comes up with ideas and you pay for it. But, let us just assume that you're a small-time entrepreneur or sole proprietor. Okay, yes, you do all the thinking, you do all the planning, you don't really get to close because you're always thinking 24 hours about how to improve your business. Let's go. Now, con number two of entrepreneurship is that, you have to multitask. Now, an employee could be, assigned, employed for a particular job, and that's what the employee is going to do throughout maybe their entire uh, time working for that company. If it's IT, they're going to be handling IT. If it's human resources, they're going to be in the human resources department. If it's personnel, if it's engineering, they focus. But you see, as an entrepreneur, you oversee all the activities of your company. You have a say when it comes to recruitment of employees. You have a say when it comes to planning the salary package as human resources. You have to oversee everything, okay? The whole of the job as a whole, the conglomerate, all the responsibilities lie on your shoulder, and you have the final say when it comes to everything. Every other person doing something always look up to you, for endorsement. You have to, endorse their moves. Yeah, they make the moves, but you're the boss. You're the boss. You make the bulk of the decisions. And even when all those under you make decisions, you still have to endorse such decisions to make those decisions valid. Okay. So that's another disadvantage of entrepreneurship. You don't get to specialize on one aspect of your business. You oversee every aspect of the business. Yeah, number three disadvantage of entrepreneurship is, you bear all the risk. Okay, you are the one that would be worse off if there's a disaster in the business. Okay, the employee is just going to dust up their CV, take a walk, and go somewhere else. Okay, the employees come when the food is ready. When the food is ready, they come to work for you, and when the ship sinks, they run away somewhere else. Okay, you bear majority of the risk. Okay, so that's another advantage of entrepreneurship. And those guys that are employees, they do not have to bear as much risk as you bear. But the truth be told, about this bearing of risk, if you're not ready to take risk, and face the challenges of entrepreneurship, you're going to spend the rest of your life working for those that are taking the risk and taking the challenges, and you're condemning your children to a likely future of working for the children of the risk takers, because the risk takers are going to, hand down their conglomerates and companies to their children. What are you going to hand down to your children? You're going to give them education, and they'll go and work for the children of the people you worked for all your life. Well, that's the number 3 disadvantage of entrepreneurship. Then we jump to number 4. Now, number 4 is the fact that the entrepreneur does not have a fixed salary. Okay, the entrepreneur is always, thinking about how this month is going to be, how much are we going to make, and stuff like that. The employee has a guaranteed paycheck at the end of the month. Okay, what to expect? The employee is going to be expecting a particular amount every month, come rain, come shine. But you see, the entrepreneur can get something very big in the month of May, and get something very small in the month of June, and get absolutely nothing in the month of July. He or she still has to pay their employees. Okay, but on the flip side of this as well, if the entrepreneur is not making money consistently, the employees may have to go. Disadvantage number 5 for entrepreneurs is the fact that startup is always very difficult. Many businesses take several years, to break even. It takes a long time. You need to be very patient with entrepreneurship for you to make it. Many businesses never even succeed, and if they're going to succeed, sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 years for the entrepreneur to start making real progress with their business. But employees, the moment they start working, probably maximum a probation period of say 3 to 6 months maximum, they get paid. They start earning some money the moment they start. But entrepreneurs have to wait for a long time before they start making real money, considering the amount of money they invested in their business. So that is a major disadvantage with entrepreneurship, and that is like the number 5 disadvantage of entrepreneurship. So we jump right now into number 6. Now, the number 6 disadvantage of entrepreneurship is that it is mandatory that you be a leader. You must be a leader if you want to be an entrepreneur. This is not mandatory for an employee, because an employee might be working under a supervisor, but eventually an employee may take up a leadership role later. But it's just not mandatory. But for an entrepreneur, you must be a leader. You must take charge of things. It's a whole lot of responsibility. Being an entrepreneur, it requires that you be a leader. It requires that you lead people, and people follow your example. You are a role model from day one. Disadvantage number 7 is that you have to raise capital to start your business. Employees don't have to raise capital. All they need to do is dust down their CV, and they would start working. So these are some of the disadvantages of being an entrepreneur. It's not easy. I never gave the impression that it is like knife through butter. I never said that. I said that it's going to be tough. It's going to take some time, but at the end of the day, it is going to be worth your while. Okay, if you're not prepared to take risk in life, you're not prepared to face challenges in life, you're going to work for those who are prepared to take risk. Okay, and if you bring up your child, making them feel like, they don't have to face challenges or take risks, they are going to also end up working for those who are ready to take those challenges. Now, entrepreneurship, you have to wake up in the morning and work as hard as many of the employees for the first few years. Okay, after some years and you've made some remarkable success, what do? You start employing people to do the hard job for you. Or you become passive when you have a very strong team of employees working for you. At the end of the day, finally, the employees can still be paid by the entrepreneurs to do many of the things I listed in these disadvantages. So at the end of the day, you know which one has my vote. The entrepreneur is the boss. The entrepreneur does not put as much pressure on the economy as the employees. The employees just graduate from school and they stay in a long queue waiting for somebody to employ them, choking the economy and flooding the labor market. Why? Entrepreneurs are job creators. So the higher the number of entrepreneurs an economy has, the better chances of thriving for such an economy. So that will be all from me. That's the video concerning the disadvantages or the cons of entrepreneurship. I hope you enjoyed it. Share this video with every aspiring entrepreneur, and share it on your social media as well. Give me a like and subscribe if it's your first time. Till I see you next time. Salute. It's bye for now.